Hey everybody, Twain with Nutrena. People always ask me, do they need to feed their chickens differently going into winter? Well, it depends on where you live. If you live in the Midwest or the Northeast, you're going to be providing 100% of their nutrition. They're not going to be outside foraging because of the snow and the ice and the cold weather. This is not the time to cut corners on your feed. They're going to increase their consumption, so you want to make sure you're feeding them a good quality layer feed. They need at least 16% protein to lay. Another key element here is you make sure they have water at all times. If your girls dehydrate just a little bit, they will stop laying on you. And they may go all the way out of production if they dehydrate. So make sure they have water. We use a heated water bowl, like a dog bowl is what we use at our house, and it's wired in. Now, if you don't have the option of wiring into your coop, you may have to use an extension cord. I'm not a huge fan of that, but if you have to do that, make sure it's a heavy-duty one that's rated for outdoor use. If you can't do that, you may need to take water out to them 2 or 3 times a day. Now, some people like to give their girls scratch in the afternoon or some kind of a grain mix because it helps keep them warm, as a thought. I don't have any scientific proof of this, but people have been doing it for many, many years. The thought process is if they have grain in their diet, it gets in their gizzard and they're grinding that and it helps keep them warm. If you do that, make sure they have access to grit. In the wintertime, they may not be able to find grit, and as always, have oyster shell available for your girls as well. You may want to put something in there to keep them busy, like a flock block, something like that, because they get bored in the wintertime when they can't go out and they get in trouble. They may start feather picking, they may start eating eggs, all sorts of things, and most of them aren't good. And also, chickens need about 16 hours of light per day to lay. Now, those of you with brand new chickens, this is your first year, pretty good chance those girls will lay through the winter whether you light them or not. I'm not going to promise that, but there's a good chance that'll happen. After the first year, if you don't artificially light them, you will not get eggs in the wintertime when the days get shorter. Make sure you pick up your eggs early and often because they can freeze in the wintertime, they crack and they get ruined. Anyway, have fun. It's not that tough. This is Twain with Nutrena.